Hello there and welcome to another incredible episode of Property Focus, your window into the world of architecture, building construction and real estate. In today's show, we'll be looking at apartments as the home for the 21st century family in the city. Due to constraints of space in urban areas, most of us live in apartments and flats, and developers are doing the most to make apartment living spaces more comfortable and convenient for the ideal family home. We'll be exploring one stylish apartment development, the Lamarck Suites in Westlands, to see how the modern developer is meeting the global tenant needs and inspiring you to live in an apartment. Talking of apartments, we also have an asset finance consultant cum property investment analyst who will be helping us determine whether buying an apartment versus developing a home is a smart investment. What are the pros and cons of co-ownership within a residential property? We have those answers right here. Later on our material segment, we'll be learning about Opticom security solutions for your property, custom to your space. How are they willing to enhance the security and privacy for families in living apartments? They'll be telling us this and much more later on in the show. Now, you're watching Property Focus, your window into the world of architecture, building construction and real estate. And I'm your host, Peter Ngigi. For a long time in Africa, apartment living in the city was transitional. It's where we lived for some years while saving to buy land so that we could build a home and move. But over the years, making apartments our home has proved to be a smart decision. Not only because of shared costs, which makes it more affordable of an investment, of course, but developers have also wooed us with aspirational services, offering experiences that we cannot forgo. So let's have a look at one such example right here at the Lamarck Suites in just a moment. Wow, first of all, we're 24 floors in the air. I'm only trying not to look down. Describe Lamarck as a property.
Lamarck is a luxurious project. This is the only mixed-use project right now in Nairobi as we speak. There are some others upcoming, but this is unique on its own. We have commercial space from the first floor to the 7th floor, then 8th to the 23rd floor. We have residences from 1, 2 and 3 bedroom apartments, luxurious boutique apartments. We have the 24th floor, which is an exclusive gym. We have steam rooms. We have a heated swimming pool, indoor heated swimming pool, and then we have the dome that you can see from here, and it is mesmerizing with really good panoramic views.
So how many apartments do you have here?
We have around 183 apartments.
183?
Yes.
What experience are you offering with these apartments?
What our initial idea was that you experience the everyday living in flats, in villas, but living in a high-rise building in a luxurious boutique apartments. Okay. By boutique, I mean not very spacious, but luxurious at the same time. That's what we wanted to sell to the public. Okay. Yeah.
We are 24 floors on glass.
Yes.
How do you ensure there is safety in these buildings on all aspects?
So we have, starting from the access points, we have access cards for visitors, for residents. So if you're a visitor, you cannot access the building through the basement, only if you're a resident or an office owner. So apart from that, we also have the fire safety. Fire safety, we have 2 particular lifts dedicated for in case of fire, which the firemen can use to come and evacuate people. Then we also have the 2 fire exits on the 2 ends. And apart from that, we also have fire sprinkler systems all around and inside the apartments as well, which you only see in a hotel. Yes.
What other unique features do you have in these apartments?
So we have, in fact, in general apartments, you see, they do not provide interior finishes, including gypsum ceilings and stuff. We have provided gypsum ceilings. We have provided instant rainwater shower head. If you've seen the concept of rainwater shower head, you'll only see in hotels, which we have as an apartment. Yeah. We also have basic amenities, like you can say lifts dedicated to the residences, lifts dedicated to the office space users, and lifts dedicated to the 24th floor, which is our gym area. And anyone who wants to take membership, it's open to public, so anyone can take a membership in the gym area.
What about your basement? How do you accommodate for, how many floors again? 24 floors?
Yes.
Parking spaces. What solution have you offered?
We have 3 floors of basement. And our first floor is dedicated for visitors entirely. Okay. Second and third floor is basically for residents, tenants, you can say office owners. So what happens, we also have a double deck parking system. Okay.
Okay.
the hydraulic, and I think we were the first ones to have brought that from Germany.
Okay.
And that also eases our parking problems. Yes.
Excellent. Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you for coming on to Property Focus.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Let's hear from the investor, Michael Luce, about this property. Wow, this glass is something else.
Amazing, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. Excellent. How are you doing?
Thank you very well.
Tell us a little bit about Prime Living.
Okay. Prime Living is managing serviced apartments at Le Mac in Westlands. And actually my business partner and myself, we set it up a year and a half ago. The idea was actually, we invested in that building and we wanted to make the best out of our investment, and we found out that furnishing and servicing the apartment would give us the best returns. We then looked at furniture that could fit into this particularly well-designed and modern layouts, and we got a bit frustrated on the local market, so we went out to different other countries looking for furniture that fits and matches into with the building architecture. And then we found furniture that we imported, and that concept we introduced, or we explained to other investors in the building, and we got other investors buying the same furniture, and now we're managing these apartments.
What experience do you want your clients to have once they occupy these spaces?
The idea of Prime Living is really to create an urban living lifestyle like you would expect in other major cities, Hong Kong, London, New York, Dubai, and to give you a feel of comfort and really a very exclusive atmosphere.
What's the damage for a two-bedroom apartment?
That depends a bit on the season, of course. The monthly rates for a one-bedroom start at 220,000.
220,000. What if I'm purchasing?
On the sale, we are starting at 25 million.
25 million. So thank you very much, Michael. Excellent. Glad to have had you on the show.
Okay, thank you very much for having me.
Wonderful.
It was a pleasure for me.
Excellent. Now we have a tenant who's going to tell us about Le Mac. Welcome to Property Focus.
Welcome to my
Leonardo,
house.
tell us about your property here at Le Mac.
Yes, the property is beautiful. I think is amazingly located. It has a stunning view of Nairobi. You can see how the outlook, the looking of the place is very nice. It's very comfortable, it's very quiet, serene, and actually it's a place to be. Yes, for you, for our family, it's very well, has all the amenities. There is a beautiful gym, the kids can play downstairs. It's a very nice place, actually.
Excellent. Did you buy the place or you're renting it
Yeah,
out?
we bought the place
Okay.
when it was built a few years back.
Okay.
Yes.
Any reason as to why you chose this particular location?
Yes, we chose this location because of the outlook of the property, because of the modern look and feel, because of the finishing are extremely particulars, and the quality of the building is very nice. I rate it as one of the best buildings around, and the location is also amazing.
How long have you lived here?
I've lived here, we were one of the first tenants. We are almost 1.5 years since the place was ready for people to occupy. That's when we came into this place.
What specifically were you looking for when you came here?
When I came here, I was looking for a home, for a place where to come with the family, where my son and the rest of the family can be comfortable, secure, well located, convenience, nice. So this was the place that we chose among many, but we find
This
that
is
we're
where
one of the best.
you settled
We
upon.
look like an iconic place in Nairobi, so the view, the location, everything is perfect.
Were you looking at virtual plans, off plan, or was it already
When we
complete?
bought it, we looked at virtual plans, yes,
Okay.
and it was in the overdrawing. But being a designer on my own, that's my profession, and we are able to understand what it looks like. So that's why we chose this place, and we didn't choose wrongly, because at the end of it, the
True to the
result was what we wanted. Yes.
Bellissimo, as you guys say.
Yeah, bellissimo.
Excellent, excellent. We're taking a short break, after which we'll return with Hildan Njoroge, an asset finance consultant and property investment analyst, to discuss the financial considerations for apartment investments. Stay tuned. And welcome back to Property Focus. Joined with me, I have a property investment analyst, Beatrice Mwangi, who's going to be telling us about purchasing of apartments or developing of land. But first, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Excellent. Tell us, what is the process in Kenya to purchasing an apartment?
So when it comes to investing in property to start with, it requires a huge capital outlay. So there needs to be a certain set way of going about it to ensure you invest in what you actually need or what you actually intended to invest in. And to start with, when you're investing in apartments, either for investment purposes or for residential purposes, the key things that you need to consider. And the first step is to look at your budget. What are you looking for? And that guides into which area you focus on and what exact property you go for. The second step is research to identify what is there in the market and does it meet what you want. So once you're able to get to know what is in the market, then you're able to identify the property that suits your requirement for whichever purpose you're getting the apartment for. And after that, you can go about processing or getting to purchase the apartment from that point on.
So for investment or residential, what are the metrics to investing in either or?
So to start with, if you're looking at an apartment for investment purposes, you either want to resell after some time or you want to have it for rental purposes. So in that case, then you're looking at what someone would focus on when they're looking at your property. Since we have so much in the market, what would make your property outstanding? And to start with, location is a very important aspect because it determines your access to amenities, determines your capital appreciation over time, determines the security of an area, the access to amenities, to other facilities. So location is a very key aspect. And when you're looking for a residential apartment, then what are you looking for in a home? You're looking for a secure location, you're looking for access to amenities, to institutions such as schools and hospitals, so those also need to be considered. Yeah.
So then you've identified the location, where to go, so what are the steps then in purchasing a particular property?
So once you've identified the property you're looking at, then you need to liaise with relevant people in the sector. To start with, you need a real estate agent. Okay. They are able to know more about that market, so they're able to even guide you on is this property really good? What are the other competitive areas that you would look at? You also need to engage a lawyer. This is because when it comes to property transactions, there are money involved, there are documents to be signed. You need a lawyer to guide you through them, making sure you don't miss any aspect of those contracts. And then you also need to do a due diligence on the developer of that property. Many times people will find property on sale and don't probably, especially if it's off-plan or construction is ongoing, they don't get the details about who is involved in that project. And cases, as they're aware, the developer could default in construction, they don't even deliver what was planned. Yeah, and it actually happens in the market. So you need to conduct a very detailed due diligence on the team involved in the implementation of that project. So you ensure you're dealing with credible people who are reliable, and when you're putting in your money, then you don't risk loss of that money. So those are actually the key steps. And after that, you have the team you're dealing with, you have your real estate agent, you have a lawyer, you have a credible developer, and you've identified your property. Then you can go into the transaction part where you sign an agreement, agree on a payment plan. You can have various developers give you various payment plans, which are flexible depending on how much you're earning and your cash flows. Yeah.
What are your final thoughts as we wrap up this conversation?
Given that discussion on apartments, what I would first of all advise the viewer to start with is that apartments are quite, if you look at the upside and the downside of building your own house and apartments in this current market, then definitely the apartments take it. First of all, because of their affordability, the ease of getting to own property, because you don't go through the hassle you would go of getting a contractor, doing the due diligence on your own over property and buying land which is significantly pricey in the current market.
Thank you very much, Beatrice. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Excellent. And there you have it. The apartments have the conversation for the day. So up next, we've got the billboards and the materials profile there on after. Stay tuned.
The Ridge by Saiton is a luxurious mixed-use development located in Ridgeways. Enjoy a limited offer starting at 7 million. Phase 1 is 50% sold. Invest sharp. Call us today to reserve a unit.
And in our last segment, we've got a security consultant who has 23 years experience in the industry, and he's going to demystify security solutions for us. Welcome to Property Focus, Tim Chege.
Thank you, Peter.
Excellent. We're talking about apartments. Tell us about the security system solutions for apartments or even shared residences.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good question. So with apartments or security, so what we really look at is just digging it from a practical point. And a practical point means just even just simply thinking like a criminal, even starting there. Just thinking about the practicality of what is it that needs to go into the...
Think like a thief to catch a thief.
Think like a thief to catch a thief. Think in just the most basic areas. So let's start to think about how do we choose the place we live?
Yes.
How do we look at it and then judge what we need to put the security solutions? So for instance, if you're an apartment is at the far end of a terrace or a corner and there's a bush,
yes.
or if your apartment is just or your home is at the gate with these more lights, you're thinking about the systems is a bit more different. So if you're moving more towards the far end of the apartment, you may be thinking about things like lighting. You're just starting for the practical point, lighting, clearing some bushes. Bushes and things like that are just as a part of systems and a part of how we develop into the system. Then of course you would be thinking about the guarding. Do we have a 24-hour guards? What is our neighborhood like? We need to really look at the neighborhood. If I would move into an apartment, I would just make these considerations. Just look at, do I know my neighbors? Do I know what is the gateway? Do I know how I could exit in case of any incident? Then we apply the technology, we apply the systems. So the systems could be starting from a burglar alarm, and then moving into an IP CCTV system. And a burglar alarm, really, we want it to be something that can verify the alarm and incident twice. So we need it to be video verified nowadays. It's much more important to make sure we can verify systems and make sure that we don't have false alarms. And as we get the false alarms, we can tend to ignore them. So let's see, how do we make sure that the systems that we employ are practical, that we can see them on our own phones, and we can be able to manage them from offsite and so on and so forth. We used to think about things like a door entry system. So for instance, if somebody's buzzing from outside, can we see them? Do we know who they are? And how do we get them, how do we let them into a property? The technology has improved now, so we can find door entry system that can come to your phone. You could be anywhere in the world, and you can be able to secure it. You can be able to tell somebody to really bugger off if they're coming at your door and they're pretending to be a delivery person. So systems should start from the gate, should be taking into account the risk of the area you're living, and then should be able to be deployed according to also mainly the risk of what you think you have, assets, etc. So, but there are systems that move into that direction.
You mentioned two verification systems.
Yes.
One being video.
Yes.
And the second one.
It's the alarm. So so systems of motion sensors are mainly blind. So their purpose is to make sure that they can alarm, they can detect motion. Systems out there, new systems out there, they're able to have the capability of then sending you a video, 10-second clip, and that proves it's not a cat, it's a human being, it's somebody you know, you don't know, and then you can quickly take action. Remember, most of these systems nowadays must be preventative.
Yes.
So the idea of you picking up the alarm instantly verifying it instantly, and then just have a system of things to do, procedures. So call the neighbor, call the police, call the guard. Just make sure that it can be intervened as fast as possible.
Okay. What are some of the trends that have been adopted in the production and services of security solutions?
That's a good question. With security has changed a lot, and that's because we have become more innovative and more technology-led, and that's key because everything that we did before was from a human capital point of view. So we send a guard who protects your home 24 hours.
Okay.
But then now with the advent of technology or some innovative way of protection, it means that there's a combination of that and the fourth generation, as I said, with the fourth generation industrialization, it means that we are now looking at how can we amalgamate all these solutions to be able to create a more preventative, more practical, more proactive solutions for our guards. So for instance, if we send guards out to guard a property, we want to give them a device that in real time they're able to patrol. We are able to see that patrol in real time and be able to protect the guard in case he has any issues or has any fall or he's been attacked. Now that's very key because we are in control. We say that security now is in the hands of the owner, is in the hands of the buyer. They should be able to see these actions of the guard that takes place. In terms of technology, with AI, with the ability to do home automation, you're able to now make sure that we can deploy systems to customers, for example, and then we can be able to make sure that they can see their homes, they can see that their properties are being secured real time. Gone are the days whereby incidents are now, you get somebody to come and report an incident, and then we are talking about an incident. We really want to be talking about how was it prevented? Exactly. What sort of technology are we using to make sure that that is preventable? So security companies have changed. Most guarding companies, for instance, have adapted more technology, have now sent guards out, have now utilized both technology and guards to be able to have a 360 solution to security issues.
Yes, and there you have it from Team Chege, security experts on security solutions. Thank you very much for coming onto the show.
Thank you, Peter.
I'm sure we're very much informed now.
Thank you.
Excellent. It's been a wonderful show. Hope you've enjoyed learning about finished apartments as a family home, and you can now make a more informed decision in your investment choices. Property Focus is your window into the world of architecture, building construction, and real estate. I'm Peter Ngigi. Have a great week ahead. Ciao.